Probably not. I just counted all these, and that's the lightest what they have is in the bag.
All right. What's up, everybody? We've got episode 16, I believe it is, of DG Weekly Live here. We are going to be talking about probably, arguably, the farthest flying disc on the market in our lineup, according to a lot of the top players. That is the Ballista Pro. So, we are going to be giving this one right here away. What's up, Noemi? We are going to be giving this one away here. So to enter into the giveaway for this, all you have to do is like the stream, share the stream, and then leave your question for me down in the chat. And also, not like some plastics. We have every plastic is 15% off right now. The Opto Ballista Pros, the Opto Air Ballista Pros, the GBO stamp Ballista Pros. They're all 15% off on dynamicdiscs.com. All you have to do is use the coupon code BallistaPro15, the number 15, and that'll go ahead and get you 15% off. What's up, Ryan? Kimberly says it's a beefcake for sure. What's up, Eric? Ryan again. Ryan's super excited. Hey, Dan. Okay. So now we figured it out earlier for everyone else, because I'm sure there was lots of you wondering. It's Jelty Visser. Jelty, something like that. Duncan says, my newest distance driver. Duncan, many people, just words, many people out there are like you, where once this thing came out, just absolutely go-to distance driver, max distance, controlled distance, big bombs. It is a really, really good disc. Eric says that GBO is candy. There's also, check this one out. I love this one, Eric. Purple. It's got that like sunburst stamp to it, I guess you could call it. It's super cool. It's kind of like a orange on the outside, and then it like, as it comes in, it's yellow. I don't know the correct term for it, but it's super sweet. And that one is 15% off with coupon code BallistaPro15. Ooh, Roger says they're here. All right, Roger, we'll get to you guys in just a minute here. For people that don't remember, Roger was he was 50% of the battle that we had for the Gold Line Gauntlet that we gave away a few weeks ago. Roger and his buddy Jeff, I believe it was, were going to battle at the Beast down in Waco, Texas, to see who got to win or keep that Gold Line Gauntlet. So we got a few people in here again to enter into the giveaway, because there are a lot more people here than there were just a second ago. Leave your question down in the chat, and then like the stream and share the stream as well. Hey Kyle, what's up, dude? Rusty, the weight on this one is a 169, so it is a little bit lighter, but as you'll see in the clips coming up, it's still plenty overstable. It has plenty of stability to handle some winds, some powers, some sidearms. I threw probably the best sidearm of my entire life with this disc, so it's a real good one, even though it is a little bit lighter weight. Roger says the purple is sharp. Yeah. Kyle, is it good in headwinds? Yes, but not like ripping headwinds. If you are wanting to throw like super, super powerful shots into super, super strong winds, I would not throw the Ballista Pro, unless you're looking for something that's going to flip and turn over. If you're looking for something to hold a hyzer line, I would throw something like an Enforcer, or in the Latitude lineup like a Stiletto, something like that. Jeff, we are giving away this orange Opto here. How does it compare to the Trespass, Lucid X Trespass? Definitely more overstable than a Trespass, similar to that of the Lucid X Trespass, but I feel like it has more of a tendency to give that full flight, where I feel like the Lucid X Trespass kind of has less turn, but also less fade. So it's an overall straighter disc, where this Ballista Pro will really flip and ride and then really come back at the end when you just crank on it. If you're really trying to crank something out there, get the tip up and then get it tipped over. Ballista Pro for sure is going to give you a little bit more of that swooping flight, where the Lucid X Trespass will be a straighter, I don't want to say more penetrating shot, because the Ballista Pro goes just as far, if not farther. Like I know Eric McCabe has both in his bag, and he uses the Lucid X Trespass for control and the Ballista Pro for just max distance shots. So it's similar stabilities, but a little bit farther, and just needs a little bit more room to work on the Ballista Pro, that is. All right, let's see if we have any other questions real quick. Jelty says, I choose the stability of the Gladiator over the B Pro. Yeah, the Gladiator is similar to like our Defender, and so it's definitely more overstable than this. A lot more turn resistant and a lot more fade at the end. That's going to be more of your like beat it up and get Ballista Pro type flights disc. So kind of just depends on your arm speed, depends on the way you like to style your bag. If you like to have one disc and beat it up to really understable and just cover a range, then the Gladiator would be really good for sure. Which do you think is more stable, the Lucid or the Goldline Kimberly? I would say the Opto Air is the most overstable. They seem to have just a little bit more dome. You can kind of hear that. They are lighter weight, obviously, as the Air plastic. This is a 158 gram, but for some reason they're just more overstable. They're lighter, but they are absolute hogs. You can crank it real hard, flat, and it's just going to stay flat and then finish out. So somebody was talking about the Gladiator just a second ago, Jelty. The Air Ballista Pro is similar to a Gladiator, just a little bit wider rim, a little bit faster. And then the Opto Ballista Pro and as you were talking about, the Gold Lines, the special editions are a little bit more understable than that. Kevin says, huge Annie bombs. Absolutely. Chad, the straightest flying disc that I have is a Lucid Warden. Those are pretty new. Well, we've had Lucid Wardens for a while, but we just came out with a stock stamp, and that's by far the straightest disc that I have. The straightest driver in terms of distance drivers for me would be, I have like a beat up Enforcer, and then in terms of just like overall not putter disc, the Maverick. If I throw that thing with just a little bit of hyzer, it goes straight and just doesn't fade ever. Duncan says, how stable is the Pro compared to the Opto Ballista? All right, so it's a noticeable difference for sure. The Ballista Pro is kind of similar to like a Lucid X Trespass, not as overstable as Enforcers, as Defenders, a little bit more stable than a Trespass. And then actually I have a ghost stamped, super sweet. It's a ghost stamped Opto Ballista. So unfortunately it's not a Ballista Pro. I thought it was, but we do have ghost stamped Opto Ballistas. These are available on the website as well. So I thought that was a Ballista Pro and I got super excited, but it's a Ballista. And the Ballista is more similar to like the Captain in terms of stability, where the Ballista Pro is a little bit more overstable than a Trespass. So it's a noticeable difference for sure. If the Ballista Pro goes straight for you, then the Ballista will be very understable. It's similar to the entire Saint Pro, anything like that. It's a noticeable difference in instability between the Ballista and then the Ballista Pro. Let's go ahead and throw those clips up for you guys so you can see them. This is me throwing the Ballista Pro. Kyle says, how does it compare to a Defender? Definitely has more turn than the Ballista, or excuse me, than the Defender. The Ballista Pro has more turn, that is. It's faster, I would say, as well. Some people are going to get more distance with it if you don't have the arm to access that high-speed turn on a Defender, but you do with the Ballista Pro. Then as you can see in these clips, you're going to get super easy, super controlled, super far shots. It's a really, really good disc. Seriously, you got to be kidding. I might need to test out an air that. No, Jelty, they're definitely more stable. Joshua says more stable. Sheriff, definitely more overstable than a Sheriff for sure. And then like I was talking about with the best sidearm of my life, that was it there on hole 1 over at Jones East. That was one of like the first throws in the morning, just threw it hard and it was perfect. So yeah, if you're looking for max distance and don't have a great sidearm like me, apparently the Ballista Pro works. It does have a really wide rim. Let's take a look here. It does have a super wide rim, but like it's not a super domey disc, so it's not super deep. It doesn't feel bad at all in a sidearm grip for me. I actually almost prefer it because it is so wide. A backhand grip is, you notice how wide the rim is, at least I do. But on a sidearm grip, I really don't. It doesn't feel any different than a Defender, than a Gladiator. It really doesn't, I don't notice it. It's very comfortable in my sidearm grip, and I just use a regular 2-finger grip there. And it works. It soars for sure. It goes super, super far. Jared says, which one are you giving away and what are the numbers? Thank you, Jared. We are going to be giving away this one right here. This is the one that I used in those clips. It is a 169 gram Opto Ballista Pro. The numbers on it are a speed 14, glide of 4, turn of 0, and then a fade of 3. Speed 14 I absolutely agree with. I would say it's without a doubt one of the fastest discs in our lineup. The glide of 4 kind of surprised me. I think it glides a little bit better. I would have said a 5 for that. And then a turn of 0, again, I would say maybe turn of 1. For my arm speed, I can get a little bit of a turn on it, and then if I throw it flat, it's going to kind of tip over and give me a little bit of that right flight. And then the 3 fade for sure, I agree with that. So I would say 14, 5, negative 1, 3, but the 14, 4, 0, 3 are definitely accurate. If you have just a little bit less arm speed than I do, that's for sure the speed and flight that you're going to get from it, the flight path, the flight shape. Chris Ches, with it being a 14 speed, is it easy to throw? I would say absolutely. Sorry, Mark said I missed the clips. Red shirt. Here you go, Mark. Definitely red shirt for you. With it being the 14 speed, is it easy to throw, Chris? I would say yes. As far as 14 speed discs go, some can be very overstable and really hard to get a good flight with. But because this is a stable, kind of a neutral flying disc, you can get some really easy flights with it. You don't have to throw super, super far. What's up, Alan?
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
Let's see. What do I have to do to win that sweet orange one, Sean? Like the stream and share the stream, and you'll be good. Sweet orange, he'll autograph it if you want. Roger, absolutely. Robert says, I need it. Did I say Roger or Robert? Can you send it to me to try? Eric, if you stand within like 400 feet of me, I will definitely send this to you so you can try it. Kind of like a Westside King. Don, it's definitely more overstable than a Westside King. In terms of the Westside lineup, it's like, it's not quite a Giant. It reminds me a lot of a World at the end of the flight. The rim shape reminds me a lot of the World. The Air Ballista Pro reminds me a lot of the World. Out of your hand, it's very straight and then has a good strong fade. The Opto Ballista Pro is a little bit more understable, so like a really beat up World from the Westside lineup there. Styling and profiling. Thank you, Mark. So, can you send it to me? Nice flip up on that forehand. Yeah, Mark, it sounds like you just got here. That was, I mentioned it earlier, as far as I can remember, that's probably the best sidearm throw that I think I've ever had. And I was just lucky enough to get it on camera there. Danny was skilled enough to get my luck there on camera. He's actually good, and so he tracked it no problem. And it was just one of those, just like, all right, I'm just going to throw this hard and see what happens. And yeah, it was good. Wood, not World, Marky says. Let's see what the question was. I don't see it. Sorry, Marky. Will the code work in misprints if you have them? Jared, I do not believe so. So the code, which is Ballista Pro 15, is going to be 15% off on all Opto Air, and then also the GBO stamp. So basically anything, if there are misprints, I'm not sure if there are or not, but the code will not work on those, I don't think. All stock stamp Ballista Pros will be 15% off with that code, Ballista Pro 15. Mark says, what was the distance on that sweet forehand? That's hole 1 at Jones East. I think it's like 350 about. I'm getting a nod from behind the camera, so definitely 350. It's in the 350 to like 360 range-ish. Eric Wilson just says, Heiser. Looks like a good Heiser flip. Yeah, if you have, like, I throw about 400 feet, and if you have that kind of an arm, then yes, it's a super good hyzer flip distance driver for max distance, just big bombs. Anytime where you're just stepping up to a T-pad and you're like, okay, I just need to get as far as I can. This is a really, really good disc for that. If you throw a little bit less than that, you're going to get flights more similar to, someone was talking about the Gladiator, more similar to the Defender, more similar to the Enforcer, where out of your hand it's going to be straight and then a really good overstable finish, a wind fighter. But if you're over that 350 to 370 mark, if you're consistently beating that, then yeah, this is going to, I don't want to just flat out say it's going to add distance to your game, but it's flat out going to add distance to your game. It's just a fact. These things just go so far. So if you're just like wanting to throw far, which, come on, who doesn't? It's a really good one. Is the air more overstable than the Opto, Matt says? Yes, Matt, it absolutely is. The Optos, as you can see here, we'll play those clips again. The Optos, you can get a nice hyzer flip line out of them, but the Opto Airs are like beef. They will not flip. Someone was just asking if it's a good hyzer flip driver. Yes, the Optos are. The Opto Airs will not hyzer flip unless you're throwing them in a really, really strong wind. Daniel says, what makes it pro? I'm sure you already said that. Well, it says pro on the stamp, so I just call it whatever it says on the stamp. No, pro is what Latitude uses, so they have like the Saint Pro is another one. The Saint was a disc, and then they made the Saint Pro. And basically the way I have found it easiest to explain is the Saint Pro will fly like the Saint does for kind of your run-of-the-mill amateur disc golfer, but it, like a pro will be able to throw it that way. So Eric McCabe will be able to throw a Ballista Pro on a similar line that I would be able to throw a Ballista. Is kind of broad statement, big brush strokes there, but that's kind of the easiest way to get you the idea. So basically it's just a more overstable version of the same disc. So like the River and the River Pro. The River Pro is much more overstable, where the River is a kind of straight to understable disc. The River Pro is a straight to overstable disc. And same goes for the Saint Pro and obviously the Ballista Pro. First ones were so much more overstable than the stock stamp, Matt says. I did not throw any of the first runs or the prototypes or anything like that, unfortunately. So I cannot confirm or deny that. But if you are wanting a more overstable Ballista Pro, Matt, check out the Airs for sure. I use a Trespass for anti-shots. Will this be good for those? Yes, Kyle, it's similar to the Trespass, but it's going to fight out a lot more at the end. The Trespass has a little bit less turn and a little bit less fade, where the Ballista Pro has a little bit more turn and a lot more fade, I would say. So it's going to fight out a little bit more at the end, but it will hold that angle longer, if that makes sense. It'll hold it longer, but there's going to be a much more exaggerated finish at the end. Che says, is it best suited for low wind conditions? That's going to all depend on your arm speed and the shot that you're wanting. If you throw like 300 feet, then it's not going to make a huge difference if it's windy or not windy for you. But like for someone like me, I would not throw this in a strong headwind. If there was a tailwind, I would throw it no problem. But if there was a headwind, then I would be a little bit hesitant unless I wanted something to flip and turn way over. So not ideal, not what you would think to grab as your go-to windy day disc. Not like an Enforcer, not like a Stiletto, not something like that. But it will handle some winds for sure. Moderate winds, you're good. Ripping winds, I would personally grab something else. We do have quite a few more people in here as well now. So if you are new, we are giving away this one right here, this orange Opto Ballista Pro. The way to enter into that giveaway, all you have to do is like the stream, share the stream, and then go ahead and leave your question for me down in the chat. This is the one that I used in these clips here that you're seeing. So it is thrown a few times, but like never hit any trees, went super duper far, obviously. Just made sure it was a really good disc, and I can confirm it's a really good disc. Tyler says, I'm at the 350 to 375 range. I picked up a Ballista Pro from Erica Oakley at Ledgestone, and it added distance to my game. So there, when I said I didn't want to guarantee it before, Tyler guaranteed it for me, even though I also guarantee it. Mark says, I got a first run and it seems more beefy than the later runs. Mark, try the Air Ballista Pros and let me know if that's I would be willing to bet it's probably close to or just as overstable, if not more overstable, than your first runs. Jason says they go far, definitely at a distance to my game. I throw 450 to 520 with enforcers. The Air Ballista Pro easily goes 500 to 550. Okay, yeah, and then he says, P.S. I can hyzer flip the Air Ballista Pro. All right, Jason, not all of us can just throw 450 on command. So if you could do that, which I know you can, then yeah, you can hyzer flip an Air Ballista Pro. I cannot do that, so I cannot hyzer flip an Air Ballista Pro. Leland says, if I throw around 300, this disc sounds like it will be beefy, overstable. Yes, Leland, if you were to want one, like this one actually really wouldn't be a bad option for you. It's a little bit lighter, it's 169, and it does have some good turn on it, so you should be able to get a little bit straighter flight than you would with something like one of the Air Ballista Pros. You would get a little bit more straight, a little bit straighter flight, than like even a max weight Opto Ballista Pro. But yes, it would be a pretty overstable disc for you for sure at that 300-foot range. Chris says, so is the Opto X more stable to overstable than the regular Pro? I believe so. In my testing, I only threw the Opto and the Opto Air, so I didn't have much chance to try the Opto X. But with how Opto X and Lucid X and things like that have been in the past, I would assume it would be a little bit more overstable, but I still think the Opto Air is the most overstable. From my testing with it and from what I've heard from other people who have thrown all of them, it sounds like the Opto Air is the most overstable Ballista Pro for sure. Eric says, can you compare it to a Moonshine Trespass? Eric, the Moonshine Trespass isn't as overstable as the Lucid X Trespass, and the Ballista Pro is still a little bit more overstable than that. So it's definitely going to be more overstable than your Moonshine Trespass for sure. The next gen event burst Ballista Pros are so sweet, Mark says. Yeah, that seems to be, like, this disc is in, as far as I'm aware, pretty much every pro's bag now. It seems like anyone who wasn't on board with it right away is coming around to it and adding it. It just seems like people with a high arm speed, people that throw really far already and just want to throw farther, are bagging this thing and having really good results with it. Specifically, the as you said, the next gen tour one. So if there's a next gen tour in your area, look for that and pick one up for sure. Or there's the Gold Line Special Edition ones. Those, as well as the Optos, just seem to be the home run discs. And then these Opto Air is like more overstable, which is just not what people expected. So I would not be surprised to see a lot of people start throwing these things too. How do the Air Ballista Pros? Joe, they're a little bit more overstable than the Opto. Will it make Daniel a better golfer than me? I don't know Daniel, Alan, but probably not. Probably not. It will make him throw real far. Will it make him better? I don't know. How do you compare it to the Defender? Ryan says the Defender has a lot more high-speed stability, but the low-speed stability is pretty similar. I think because it has more turn, the Ballista Pro goes a little bit farther. I think it's a little bit faster as well. So yeah, it's kind of between like a Defender and a Lucid X Trespass, for me at least. Mark says, I've used the Ballista Pro in a 20-mile-an-hour headwind and it did great. Wow. Well, did you throw it like vertical, Mark? Because I feel like that's what I would have to do. Maybe if it was a Lucid Air one, it would be all right. Jacob says, why does Johnny on the disc look so different? Johnny, there is no way. When Bobby and I were talking about me starting this, that was like, obviously we wanted to do something because Paige is out on tour, so we couldn't have Paige's point of view anymore. Johnny on the disc is doing awesome down at Carrollton, but that was one of the things that we talked about was like, I'm not Johnny. That guy is an amazing person. He is constantly, I've never seen Johnny not having the best day of his life. Every single day, that guy's in the best mood. He is awesome, but I am definitely not Johnny. He is like singing and dancing and jumping around and stuff like that. So yes, check out the Dynamic Discs Carrollton Facebook page. I believe on Thursdays it is. Johnny will go live talking about a new disc every week, similar to what we do here. But it's a very different show. Johnny is hilarious. Like I said, Johnny is always having the best day, and you will not regret watching an episode of Johnny on the disc for sure. The second throw, why did it turn over so hard? Josh, that was a little bit of a headwind. I would say probably like 7 to 10 miles an hour. And then out of my hand, I threw it with a little bit of a turn on it. And that headwind plus the high-speed turn, it kind of exaggerated that and wrote it down. Let's see if we have any more questions. We do. Oh, what's up, Joel? We do have the giveaway going on this orange Opto Ballista Pro. To enter into that giveaway, all you have to do is like the stream, share the stream, and then leave your question in the chat. Once these clips are done running, once these clips have been seen by everyone, we will go ahead and pick a winner for this, and then we will get that person's address. So, this is your last chance, guys. Andrew just says, Joel! Yes, Joel is here. Joel is waving to you guys from a distance. So, get your questions in, get those last minute questions in, get those likes, get those shares, so you can win yourself this Ballista Pro and get some huge, huge distance. And Alan, hopefully your friend Daniel can beat you, maybe, if he's lucky. I think it would be awesome in a commander bag, Roger says. I think it would look awesome in any bag, Roger. Adam says, love that disc. Be awesome to have another. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Jeremiah, oh, I didn't see that Jeremiah tagged someone. I thought he just said, if I win it, I want to throw it. Oh, that's funny. Adam says, great disc, would love to have another. Daniel says, I'm already better than Alan. Andrew says, I need more distance to attack Waco Park. If you had said Waco, that would have been crazy. Eric says, address standing by. So, how should we decide who wins this thing? Because obviously it goes real far. So we have to have some sort of a distance aspect to it. Some sort of a big number, something like that, I'm thinking. Would it look good next to my 2-time dagger? Oh, Dustin. I bet it would, bud. I don't own a Ballista Pro. I think I need one, Keith says. Keith, I think you do as well. For everyone out there, obviously there's a lot of people watching. Not everyone can win this. Only one person can. But for those of you who don't win it, we do have the coupon code BallistaPro15. And that works. That gives you 15% off on all Opto Ballista Pros, all Opto Air Ballista Pros, as well as these super sweet GBO stamped Opto Ballista Pros. This one's crazy. I love this one. This purple, kind of like a, I called it a sunburst earlier, but I'm not really sure what it is. It's kind of orange on the outsides, and then it kind of fades to yellow. Really cool stamp on that one. I like that one a lot, but I'm not really sure what the stamp name is. So, this one is the one that we're giving away. Mark says, by most handsome, I am the handsomest far thrower. Jeff and I are ready for a rematch. Roger, who ended up winning? I don't know if you guys said, but I didn't see who won between you and Jeff. So we need that before we get out of here too. Dustin, will it cure my grip lock? That's going to be a forum issue. Check out Physics of Flight. I know Danny just put out one of those on Monday, I believe, and there's going to be another one coming next Monday, then another one coming the Monday after that. So check those out. Those are over on the YouTube channel, on the Dynamic Discs YouTube. Oh, there we go. Joe says, Danny, the Physics of Flight is awesome. Yes, they are. He does a really good job with those. Really, really good job. All right. We will play Woodway for this. I am not sure where that is, but that's probably another Texas course. Jeff says, I love orange. It may be my first 500-foot disc. We got to know who won, though. Jeff, Roger, you guys are slacking on us here. There's plenty of people here listening, waiting, wondering who won that Gold Line Gauntlet. We never got to that. Patrick says, any good for a roller? If you can get it down, I think it would, because it's such a fast disc. It seems to me that like the faster the disc is, the more distance it'll roll. But I'm very amateur when it comes to rollers, and I definitely don't have the roller game or the arm to get this all the way down. But if you do, I could see it being really good. Tell me about those new beefy Gold Line Ballista Pros. Thomas, I don't know anything about those, unfortunately. There are the special edition ones that I've thrown, and those are a little bit less overstable, I would say. But they're very, very straight, where these kind of have like a swooping flight. I would say the special editions have a little bit more turn, a little bit less fade. Let's see. So as far as the new gold line ones, Thomas, I haven't heard anything about those. Roger got it in a 4-hole playoff. Dang, good job, Roger. That's crazy. You guys played a bunch of golf for that. It's another Waco course? Okay. Kimberly says, let the women win. Kimberly, my mom even said the same thing last week. She said, you should pick a girl for one of the giveaways. And I said, I'll try and do that, Mom, but we got to keep it random here. Roger says it's open, a couple of long holes. Okay. Wow, Joseph, I didn't hit water at Fountain Hills, shot even the first time playing it. Nice, Joseph. This thing would definitely clear all of that water. It goes so far. Daniel says if Kimberly has page distance, she should win it. So is that another vote for Kimberly? I think it is. Agree with Kim. How about giving a lady a chance? That feels like 3 for Kimberly. My mom counts as 2, so that's 5. So go ahead. We're going to do that. Kimberly, what was your last name? Shoot, where did we go? Kimberly Acock. You are going to be the winner for this orange Opto Ballista Pro. Go ahead and send me your address, and I will get this shipped out to you. And then everyone else who is not Kimberly, go to dynamicdiscs.com. Kyle, the weight is a 169. Everyone go to dynamicdiscs.com. You can pick up the Opto Air Ballista Pro. You can pick up a regular Opto Ballista Pro or an Opto Ballista Pro with the GBO stamp. They are all 15% off on dynamicdiscs.com with the coupon code BallistaPro15. The number 15, don't spell it out. You have to put in the numbers 1 and then 5. All one word as well. Somebody had an issue with that last week, I believe. So all one word, no spaces, nothing like that. BallistaPro15. We are going to go ahead and play those clips once again. Again, Ballista Pro 15. There's a guy who had an issue with it last week, and I felt really bad for him. So please, if you're going to use that code BallistaPro15, we're going to play those clips again. We are going to get out of here. Congrats to Kimberly. Go ahead and send the Dynamic Discs page your address, and we will get that shipped out to you. And we'll see everyone next week.